Morning everybody, hi there, hope you're all doing fabulously well. Rachel here, Inner Strength Pottery. So I'm back in the kiln room, kiln opening day, yay. I'm really excited actually because I've got some new stuff coming up. So I've done some different kind of glazing techniques which I'm a bit worried about and a bit apprehensive about, but anyway, let's see what they turn out like. Again, I've not opened the kiln so I don't know what's going on inside there. It's been cooling down all night, so it's really cool. It's on 15 degrees, so it's gone as far as it's going to go for this October weather. So just a quick message. I've got exciting news. I've started a YouTube channel, so some of these kiln opening videos are a bit long. They're sort of 8-9 minutes, so TikTok and Instagram and stuff doesn't really like that, and people's attentions is, you know, 2 or 3 minutes max, if that. So you can't open a kiln in 2 minutes. So I've got a YouTube channel. If you go onto YouTube and search for Inner Strength Pottery, you'll probably find me. At the moment there's only one video in there. I just started it off, so I'll be building some of the longer videos just for you to have a look at, doing some throw-in demonstrations while I actually speak to you, rather than just stick some music over it, and let you see what I'm doing. I should be talking through it as well, bit of teaching style, that sort of stuff, opening the kiln and talking to you about a bit of bits and pieces that come out. If you're interested in the processes and stuff, I can go into a little bit more detail, so you know, it just takes a bit longer to describe, you know, how I go about my process. So yeah, so YouTube is good for that if people really do want to see, you know, a bit more information rather than me rattling through each piece and trying to speed it up. So let's get this kiln open. So just a second, I will pop you down so that you can see what's going on. One moment. Right, hopefully you can see. Okay, excuse my fag hanging from my around my neck, but never mind, you know, that's life. So I had an order from a customer for a colander type berry bowl type thing. So this is the one. She wanted it in a nice sort of palish green, which is lovely, and the holes haven't filled up with glaze, so they're all still nice and holy. Little feet on the bottom, which obviously are unglazed, so it doesn't stick to the kiln shelf. That's turned out really nice actually. I quite like that colour. I think that's called satin ombre. I put feet on the bottom so that it's lifted. So what I use these for is not only for berry bowls and things like that, but also for little steamers. So if you pop that into a saucepan, fill the saucepan sort of just below an inch of water, get that boiling, pop it into the saucepan, and then put your broccoli and your carrots and your cauliflower in this inside, pop a lid on, and it steams in sort of 4 or 5 minutes, and you're not getting rid of all your nutrients from your vegetables by boiling the hell out of them. So yeah, that's a really nice thing to, you know, those light vegetables like broccoli and that are good for steaming. So that's another thing, because this is stoneware. It's fired to 1280 degrees. It's dishwasher safe, microwave safe, oven proof. It will cope with that heat of the saucepan. It's not going to go cracking on you or leaking on you or anything like that. So yeah, nice little berry bowl. I've got a few of these in here, I think. So I did a plate a long time ago, and this has been sat waiting to be fired. It's not pretty, it's black. I don't remember what glaze is on that, but actually it's got a nice little grey smoky line all the way around the rim. It's okay, at least it stayed flat, which is good. It doesn't sometimes you pop them on a table and they rock because they're not quite flat, but that one looks really nice actually. So yeah, you've got to really try and compress the base so that it all stays flat while it dries. And doesn't kink on you so that you get a rocky plate. So yeah, that's quite a nice little plate. I'll probably end up in my kitchen. Another berry bowl. This one's darker, nice blue midnight. Again, the holes haven't filled in with glaze, which is lovely. Little feet on the bottom, nice. So that one will go on my craft stool, and then a normal little bowl. That's a nice bluey colour. The light isn't very good in this kiln room. I call it the kiln room. It's actually Dad's shed. So the light isn't great, but you can sort of see that there's a nice smoky blue on there. It's really lovely. I think that one was sea turtle, not sure. So that's the top shelf, just a few pieces on there, a couple of half shelves gone in, just in case I get some taller pieces, so you can put half a shelf in and then put taller on one side and then shorter things on the other. So I've got a little new design. So this is what I'm calling a flower cave. It's like a salt pig actually. It's a little dome, yeah, and one half is cut out. Now if that was a salt pig, you'd have the front wall a bit higher so that your salt doesn't pour out, and a little wooden spoon or something in there, little ladle for your salt. So I've gone all the way down, and what that is now is a flower cave. So I'm going to put some gravel in the bottom and a little air plant, and then sell those on my little craft stand. I think they'll look lovely, just something a bit different. Yeah, that turned out lovely. I've got quite a few of those. Sea turtle. One in smoky merlot. That's, again, it's not coming up brown on the camera, but it's actually quite a sort of a mulberry, aubergine type reddy colour. Maybe I need to change the light in here and have a look to see if I can get some more natural light, because that does look brown, but it's actually quite a nice colour, like an aubergine purpley colour. Right, so there's another one which is more green. I just checked the bottoms to see if they ran, and that's just caught the bottom edge, but it's not sharp, it's not gone past the bottom corner, so that's nice. This also, my logo, I don't know whether you spotted it, but I have the logo on my tattoo. This is the Celtic symbol for inner strength. My mum is Irish, so hence the Celtic connection. This logo was my sister's tattoo, and she went by inner strength as her little personal motto. Don't know whether you've been on my website, but there's a little bit of a story about my sister. She was 49 in 2019, and she had a brain hemorrhage and didn't wake up. So she was 49 years old and we lost her. So there's a little bit of story about how Inner Strength Pottery came about. So I had my tattoo done after she passed away. And then that became Inner Strength Pottery. Love you, Nuala. 7 years ago this February. So you never recover from that sort of stuff. You know, I can talk about grief and everything like that in another session, and the mental health, you know, support that pottery actually gives you, which is why I started doing it in the first place. This is a copper. Again, it's coming out a little bit more brown than I can see this end, but you can see the copper tones coming through that colour. So yeah, pottery is really good for your mental health. It just de-stresses you, helps you to breathe slowly, helps you to concentrate on one thing and not everything else that's going on in the world or your family life or anything like that. It's just pure therapy. This is a little cup that's just got no handle. So what I've done is I've put some grooves in here so that it's a nice little cup to hold on to. Again, the nice logo on the bottom. Lovely. So there's quite a few of those little cups. I did a little set of all different colours. This is the smoky merlot colour. This is the blue, which is quite striking. There is a sea turtle, which is a colour I use quite a lot. Where you've got texture, the sea turtle does quite different things over the texture. This one is winter wood. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to be doing some more of that one. It's lovely, winter wood. It's just a Mako colour that you can buy in a pint bottle. You just brush it on, about 4 coats on there. Nice. That is lovely, actually. I like that. It's not a glaze I use very often, but when I do, I wonder why. That's got some purples and blues and greens in it. That's lovely. I'm not sure what colour that was, actually. I sometimes number the bottoms, and then I'll take a photograph of the number, and then when it comes out, match that with the number, and then I've got a little catalogue of which glazes I love. Didn't do it on those ones because they were a bit more experimental, so but I will start doing that and cataloguing my favourite glazes. So next shelf down is some more berry bowls. Oh, they all look like they've come out lovely. So another berry bowl. All the holes are holes, nothing's filled in. I've done my holes a little bit bigger than I did on my early versions, because the holes where the glaze runs, it does fill in the holes, and then you just get no holes, but that's nice. Lovely. And another berry bowl there as well. All the holes intact. Fabulous. That one's pulled in the bottom slightly, so you've got more green right in the bottom, and then it's sort of an ombre effect up to the brown at the top, which is lovely. Nice. Couple of normal bowls. That's a nice, don't know what these glazes were. No, there's no number on it. Oh, I know what I did with this. So I did some swirly patterns. So what I did is I watered down some of my glazes, poured 3 dollops of 3 different colours into the thing, and then rolled it round so that it was almost like a marble effect. And the marble effect, you can probably see it less than I can here in reality, but the marble effect has just left it all nice and smoky. So I've done some various combinations of 3 colours to try and get a marbly effect. This one's a nice one. Oh, I need to sort this light out in here, don't I? Because you can't see that. It's very blue, but that doesn't look blue. Yeah, that's a bit less striking than actually it is when I'm looking at it in real life. But anyway, I like it. It's lovely. Okay, next shelf. I think I've got 2 more shelves. It's nice not to have to rush through this video, because I know it's going to go on to the YouTube channel rather than the, you know, the Instagram stuff. And Facebook and all that sort of stuff, so it's nice not to have to rush. Okay, a couple of student pieces down here. This is Jordan. She made a couple of dog bowls for a friend. I hope he's not watching because his dog's name is Toby. Hey, it's backward for you, but that does say Toby. Your butt. They turned out lovely. So this is Jordan's little dog bowls that she's gonna give to her friend for Christmas, and she's got a second one for water. Again with a Toby there. The writing is dodgy. What I do is when it's leather hard, I'll stamp. I've got some little stamps for the letters. And then when I glaze, I just put a bit of wax on there so that the glaze doesn't fill in, go over the words. So sometimes the glaze runs. This blue marble glaze is very well behaved, actually. It very rarely runs, so you can trust it. But sometimes you get there and it's covered up the writing that you've worked hard to create. So yeah, it's a bit of a... That's why I tend to just, if I'm going to do words on things, I'll do two. If they both work out, then I'm stuck with a mud with Ben written on it or something. It's just one of those things you have to get used to doing. This is another marbly one. You can see that a bit better because the colours are a bit lighter. There's a green and a brown and a blue in there, and then just a couple of coats of one of the three colours on the outside, which is really nice. Just gives it a little bit more interest. I've got one of my low heart bowls here. This is the Smoky Merlot. Nice little heart shape. Lovely. That's turned out great. And then, oh, I thought that was a piece of pottery. It's not. It was stood that way up. I thought, what the hell's that? It's a Kiln prop. And I've got a number of matchsticks holders. So I sell these with, I stick a striker, bit of tape on there, and then I sell it with long matches on my craft stand. That was one as a copper. That does say matches. You can't see it because it's backwards. I've got one of those in green, greeny bluey colour, one in that nice blue marble. See, this one's really well behaved, this glaze. It just does what it should do, you know. It comes out every time. Don't matter what you stick it on, it just comes out and does its thing. I need some more of that actually because I am running out. Another one of that Smoky Merlot, which is another one of my, you're getting used to the glazes that I go to. Another one in the blue marble, and another one in a greeny. Those writing didn't cover itself up. I always get one or two that's smudged, so yeah, those turned out really well. Okay, let's get rid of those out of the way. And then the final shelf down at the bottom. I wanted to show you this actually as well. I made this up by hand. This isn't thrown obviously because it's square. It's one of those little milk jugs. And I put speckled oatmeal on the top because I didn't have any white. But yeah, it's just a hand-built template that I bought from Etsy, from a company, and you roll out a slab, cut it up, stick it together, and then you got a little milk jug. I've also got a taller one of those that hasn't been fired yet. It's waiting to go in. It was too tall to go in, so this is more like the old traditional milk carton. It's just a nice little hand building. It's well heavy, but I'm not very good at hand building, so I play rather than do anything that I think, oh, it's worth selling. That kiln prop was nearly stuck. So yeah, I don't sell my hand built stuff. It's just if I don't feel like throwing one day, I'll, go and play with some slabs. Right, final shelf. More of the same. Couple of matchsticks in that nice winter wood. I do love that glaze. I'm going to get some more of that. There's a couple of those in the winter wood. And these speckles are so random. Look, one's got loads of speckles on and one's got, smaller speckles. So you just get something really unique, even if you use the same glaze. Another copper. And, oh, what's this one? Oh, it's another copper. And another Smoky Merlot. Then a couple of more of that marbly technique where I've watered down the glaze and just run it around the edges so that it marbles into each colour. 3 colours in there: green, Smoky Merlot, and a textured turquoise. Nice. And a couple more of those, so more in the blues. That had a tourmaline textured turquoise, and it looks like a Smoky Merlot's just come out there. Look. Lovely. Wish you could see these in real life because they look so much prettier than on the camera. And then another one in Blue Midnight, dark blue, and then inside it's got Blue Midnight, textured turquoise, and something else. Don't know what that might be, but there's a green in there. Okay, one more berry bowl, and that's the last piece for this time. So again, these worked so well. Oh, no holes are filled in, lovely. And this is a lovely blue. So yeah, 100% success rate on this firing, guys. That is amazing. No disasters, no runs, no sticking to the kiln shelves. Oh, I love my job. Thank you for joining me. I hope you follow, subscribe, share and all that business. I love sharing my bits with you. It's my passion, and I hope you love it too. So yeah, keep tuning in. If I bore you, just send me a message. Tell me what you fancy me making, seeing, whatever. You know, I'm open to ideas. And you know, happy to give you what you need. I will be doing some more videos of the studio tour and a bit of throwing and a bit of describing what I'm doing when I'm throwing and all that malarkey. So those all come up too. So please subscribe. Lovely to see you. Thank you. Bye.